Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a tutorial on my brows. So this is the feathery, fluffy soap brow look that's been going viral for like a year now or so. And at first I really hated this, and honestly this is not for everybody. Like, I know people that hate this. I used to hate it so much. When I saw people using it, I was like, I prefer the more glam brows, blah blah blah. I still do prefer a more glam brow, especially if I am doing a glam look. But I've gotten so many compliments on how I do this feathery soap brow look, and a lot of people have requested to see exactly how I do it, so I just thought I would make a tutorial. Funny story about this video, I actually recorded the entire thing yesterday. Ooh, let me check something real quick. And then I realized my mic wasn't actually working. So it was plugged into the mic, but the mic wasn't on. So everything was muted, and now I have to do this video all over again since it's a talk through. You see me talking in the video, and I can't just do a voiceover because, ugh. So I had to redo this today, and it's just so frustrating, but yeah, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Before I get into the tutorial though, you have to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And yeah, let's get into this tutorial. I don't know what I do with my arms here. It's so awkward. So what you need for these feathery soap brows is obviously soap. So I got this from Amazon, and it was like really affordable, but you can also get these at the dollar store. Like, I've seen people go to Dollar Tree and buy transparent soap. The more transparent the better, because if you use like regular bar soap, it's gonna show up in your eyebrow. And trust me, the first time I did this, I used like my regular bar soap, my Dove white bar soap, and my brows were white. It just did not work. So trust me, you need a transparent soap. You also need a spoolie. I have this pack of disposable spoolies because I have this in my kit since I'm a makeup artist, but I bought these on Amazon as well. Very affordable. I just use these because it's really easy to just throw them away, and I don't want to ruin my other spoolies. Like, from my really nice ABH brow brush, I'm not going to use it. I have used it in the past, and it ruins the spoolie, and I don't want to ruin it, and I don't want to ruin my eye pencils either, like my eyebrow pencils. So I just use these disposable ones. Whatever works, it doesn't really matter. You also need some tweezers, and you need some scissors, like eyebrow scissors. Where are my eyebrow scissors? These are actually cuticle scissors, I'm pretty sure. I can't find my actual eyebrow scissors with a point, so these are the cuticle scissors, I'm pretty sure, but whatever. But the first thing I do is basically brush through my brows. Since I did record this video yesterday and the audio wasn't working, my brows are pretty clean, but the first thing I would do is totally pluck any stray hairs. And I have a mirror in front of me, but it is a magnifying mirror, so let me just zoom myself in to the mirror so I can actually see if I have any stray hairs. I also use an eyebrow razor, which I also bought from Amazon in a pack of like 50 for like $1, like literally. I just kind of remove any stray hairs, but the first thing I'm gonna do is use the tweezers because I do see a couple of hairs that grew from yesterday to today. That's just the perks of being a Hispanic woman. I really don't have that many hairs to pluck at all, so I'm just getting like the lighter ones. I have a few light ones. Like, my hair is going gray, so my eyebrow hair is going gray as well. That's why I'm blonde, by the way. I don't want my grays to show with dark roots. I'm just going to brush through my brows and kind of take out any hairs that are too long. I really don't see any hairs that are long, but that's what the scissors would be for. I don't recommend cutting them too much. My mom, when she was younger, like a teenager, and she was allowed to pluck her eyebrows, she actually ended up cutting way too much. She ended up using the scissors way too much on her brows, and now her brows grow out curly. Like, she doesn't even have curly hair, she has straight hair, like straight hair. But her brows grow out curly and weird, and yeah, her brows have never been the same. So I don't recommend cutting too much. I just cut the tips sometimes because sometimes the hair sticks out a little too much. As you can see, my brows are completely different from one another. They are microbladed slightly, but it's fading to the point where like you can't really tell that my eyebrows are tattooed. Like, legit, it's fading a lot. As you can see, my brows are even still are so different. Like, this tail is a lot thinner than this tail, and this part is thicker than this part. So I do try to make them even when I fill them in, but for now, just try your best to like see which hairs go a little higher on each brow. And as it is, I think they're fine because I did this yesterday, but I would normally cut out some of the brow hairs if they're too long so that they look a little even. Now you just want to pour some water and let it soak in there. This is the #1 mistake that people do when doing the soapy brow technique. They don't let the water sit there long enough. So I'm just taking this little cup that I have for my paints and stuff. This is how I use my water-based paints, but I'm putting like a couple of drops, like literally not that much. and just let it soak there so that it becomes like tacky. After letting it soak a bit, I'm gonna take my spoolie and just kind of rub it around in there to create kind of like a paste. You might need to add more water, less water as need be. Like if you added too much water, you want to go to the part of the soap that doesn't have a lot of water. But basically you want your spoolie to be completely coated in this stuff, but you also don't want too much, if that makes sense. Now I'm gonna take the spoolie that's coated in soap, obviously, and just brush my brow hairs upwards. You could do this as far up as you want. Usually I tend to go at a slight angle so it's not like literally sticking up. I just let it sit there for a little bit to get like really nice and tacky. Kind of like when you're putting on lashes, like you let the lash glue sit there. Before I continue, I actually see like a couple of hairs I want to just kind of trim. This one's like a little long for me. All right, now I'm gonna repeat the process one more time. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water on the soap once more, just a little bit. Too much. So when there's too much, I just kind of like dab my spoolie and go to the area of the soap that doesn't have much water on it and just kind of make the paste there. If you add too much water, then your brows are not going to stick and they're just going to go flat. So I definitely recommend that you let the water sit there to make it tacky, and don't add too much water so that it makes like that paste I'm talking about. So it should be more like a paste, not like a liquid, if that makes sense. So now I'm gonna go, there's a chunk right there. If there's a chunk, you have to take it out because otherwise it's gonna get stuck in your brows and it's not gonna look good. So now I'm just gonna go back in and do the same thing, and it should be a little harder to comb through now because they're a little more tacky from the first round. Now I just kind of run a clean spoolie over just to kind of loosen it up a little bit because it's really sticky, which is good. You want it sticky. And then you're going to take your eyebrow product of choice. Mine for this is a pencil, and I've been loving the Precisely My Brow from Benefit. This is in the shade, this is the wrong shade. Here it is. I have two of them. This is in the shade 3.5. When I do more like glam brows though, I prefer the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. I used to hate using pomade, but I feel like they just come out so much better when you use a pomade. When you want those extreme glam glows. When you want those extreme glam brows. But for this, I feel like it's easier to use a pencil because you're doing hair strokes. What I do first is I take the pencil and I kind of create a line under the brow. Not harsh. You also don't want to glide it over everything because then the soap is going to come off, although it really doesn't come off easily. You just kind of want to do hair like strokes even that way, but I do the line under. You can do it whatever way you want. I like to make them a little more glam and extra, so what I do is literally line the bottom of my brows and then I do hair strokes. So I'm going to show you. And then create hair-like strokes for the rest of the brow. And then I just kind of take the spoolie on the end of the pencil and just kind of comb them through, I guess. Make sure it's at the angle I want. See, these hairs are kind of sticking up again, and I just kind of comb them downwards. I do try not to touch as much at the beginning of my brow because I like the more ombre effect, but I kind of do a few strokes to make it match. And plus, the front of my eyebrow is not as like thick, I guess, as the rest of my eyebrow, as thick as it should be, I guess. So I try to make it a little bit thicker. Sadly, this did not come out as good today as it did yesterday. Kind of pissed about that. So now I'm gonna repeat the process on the other side. I'm just gonna speed forward through this so you guys can see it once more. Okay, so now what I like to do to get these even, because they're never even, is actually like literally draw a line connecting them, like a unibrow situation, just to make sure that I get the bottom part even. Now I'm just doing the same process, outlining the under part of my brow. And then filling them in with hair-like strokes. But as you can see, they still look super uneven. This is just so much thicker. So I'm probably gonna have to go back into this one and just fix some things up to make them even. And now I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and clean that out. And the last step is to set with clear brow gel. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Let me tell you, this stuff works. It is amazing. My brows do not move. It's also probably due to the soap though. The last thing you want to do is clean up the bottom of your brows. I use a mix of concealer and an eyeshadow base. My current favorite combo is the Tarte Shape Tape and the P.Louise makeup base. I also really like the Ebates eyeshadow base, but I can't find it for some reason. I kind of like the combination of these because just the base alone kind of leaves my eyeshadow a little streaky and patchy for some reason, but it is so full coverage that I love using it. I just like to mix the two on the back of my hand, like so. And this is in the shade Light. It depends on what kind of look I'm doing. Sometimes I'll go for light medium honey so that it's not so light, but today I'm doing a really bright and colorful look, so I want it to be as light as possible. The lighter the concealer, the more your eyeshadow pops, obviously. Now I'm taking a MAC 228 brush and mixing those together on the back of my hand, like so. And then I take a layer and put it way under my brow and just kind of blend it upwards until I get to the bottom of my brows to actually clean it up. You don't want like the most product there because then you get concealer brows. It's happened to me so many times. And then with whatever's left on my hand, I take a Morphe M173 brush. It's a more dense brush, and I just kind of pack it on the rest of my lid as the eyeshadow base. This ensures little streaking, like it's the most perfect way to buff the concealer in the, like on the eye. It's amazing. If necessary though, I do go in with a sponge or even my fingers just to like make sure it's blended perfectly. This part honestly takes me a while. I like to pack on the eyeshadow base so that it really makes my eyeshadow pop. So I'm here for a while. So anyway, that completes this tutorial. Let me know which brow look you prefer. Do you prefer a more glam brow or the more feathery soap brow situation? Would you try this? Have you tried it? Just let me know all your thoughts on brows in the comments. Let's have a conversation. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe right here. Watch these two videos if you've missed them and have a marathon on my channel because you know you don't want to leave without watching more videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.